Do you know there's cool new technologies that make it super easy to make money as a finance agent? There are tools that make it so that you're creating leads at night in your sleep. Want to know what they are? Stick with us and we'll tell you all about these awesome technologies. Okay, let's do this.
All right.
Hey, here we are. All right. Hello, welcome back to another episode of Finance Agents Live. This is episode number 81. Are we on YouTube and Facebook, Tech Person?
Facebook.
All right, we have this is Bizarro Day, where Darren, who's normally behind the computer, is now in front of the screen.
They let me loose. It's okay. Don't worry. I'll play nice.
I hope to get him to do some of the frustrated movements that he does while he's actually on the other side of it. So we'll try to frustrate him later and see what happens.
Well, so in lieu of Rhoda being up here, she always has some information about the number that we're on. And
oh, God. Here we go.
81, there's a couple of different things that you can go for, but it's known for Hell's Angels. Use
what?
81 because
that has nothing to do with technology.
Has nothing to do with it. It's complete opposite, although a
Perfect.
lot of their motorcycles now have a lot of technology involved in them.
Okay, all right. Well, you're doing a good job of channeling Rhoda by bringing up random stuff. All right, so anyway, we're going to get started today. Today, as you saw, we're going to be talking about tech integration, Darren's favorite word. And what we're really talking about here is the robots are coming, and don't be afraid because they're here to help you. All right? When I say robots, there's automated online systems that make it super easy to generate lots of leads. And as you know, more leads equals more opportunities for fundings, which is more money, right? The more leads that come in, the faster they come in, the smoother it is. You know, the way it used to be, Darren, what was it like before you could have automated submissions into our system?
Plug it into an Excel sheet and hope for the best. Maybe write it down and hope you don't lose the Post-it note.
Right. You know what? Honestly, I talk to marketing companies. I still talk to marketing companies. This blows my mind. That say, yeah, we got this leads. They come in. We'll compile them over the week. And at the end of the week, we'll send you a spreadsheet, and then you can call them. I'm like, why? That's so slow, you know?
We'll give you a CSV. And everybody's like, what's CSV? What does that mean?
Yeah, well, people still don't know what that means. But the point is, when you get it at the end of the week, they've had at least 5 other days to go talk to somebody else, and you're losing money. Those leads just lost 50% of their value by the time you get them. Yeah, so we don't want that. We want, when somebody's interested, to know right away so that we can reach out to them immediately, so we can help them before somebody else does. They get better service. We make more money. It's a win-win system, and we can do it with the robots. Mm-hmm. What's your favorite robot, Darren?
Oh, that's difficult. But
this might go off the rails here.
I'd have to say either number 5.
Okay.
From Short Circuit.
That's a cool one. Yeah, I like that robot.
Or Voltron, even though it is a robot, it's powered by people, but that one's pretty cool too.
Okay. All right. Oh, Rhoda's signaling for me to move this way. Okay, all right, here we go. All right. Okay, so the robots are coming to not steal your jobs, well, maybe that too, but also to help you. All right. We've been using the robots for a long time to make your life easier. It's actually one of the reasons we built our agent portal. So we have some standard tech integrations that have been around for, some of these 7 or 8, 9 years. Why don't you tell people what those standard tech integrations are, Darren?
All right, well, so our main integration, and just I want to point out...
Darren loves the term tech integration.
Well, tech integration isn't so bad. It's when we say tech integrated. So it's a past tense, which is not completely correct. When you integrate something, it means that you're taking one thing and adding it to another to create a whole.
Right,
So when we talk
about...
Whole
marketing system, that's what we provide.
Exactly.
Yep.
But having your tech integrated platform is the technology. So it doesn't make sense. But we started out...
If you're watching this and you don't really know what he's saying, tech integrated is a term we like to say in the office because it always makes Darren cringe. I still don't totally get what he doesn't like about it, but there's something deeply offensive to him about it.
It's just not correct terminology.
All right.
That's really what it comes down to.
But we have some tech integrated things Darren's going to tell you about.
So we have integrations that allow us for you to submit referrals so that you can make money off of the commission when they get funded. So our major brain of the entire system is our agent portal. If you're an agent with us...
I thought it was you. I thought you were the major brain.
No, this is why we have automations in place, so that I don't have to sit there and click, oh, he did this, she did that. Okay, now you get these kudos, that sort of thing. Yep. So we have it all set up so that things happen automatically. Notifications go out. Information comes in, is sent to our member offices, and they receive that information so they can contact your prospective leads so that there's little to no time wasted in them just sitting there twiddling their thumbs and hoping that somebody's going to call them.
Right, like a specific example of right now we have something set up that somebody fills in a lead on a lead form. The person working the lead might actually receive a text message. Boom. So even if they're not at the computer, or even if they're at the computer looking at other leads, they won't necessarily know. They get a message and they know, let's jump on that lead. Somebody needs help right away. Boom. So we have three main portals, right? We have our agent portal. We have the sites that our member offices use, and then the agent landing pages. Which is the coolest tech integration, Darren?
Oh, you know what? Honestly, I would have to say right now the combination between the agent landing pages and the member offices. So all of our member offices have their own branding, which is available to any member office and is based also on the page. So they have multiple pages that they can select from, different types of forms that they can use, and different ways that their branding shows up. And so with those types of integrations and the leads coming in, I tend to find that that's really the coolest part, is having that ability to have all that stuff happen.
Okay, yeah. What's one of our most recent member offices that just got set up that's fully up and running?
I'm going to blank at this point.
I thought that'd be a quick one. What's the first one that comes to you?
I just set up
Next Financial?
NXT funding. But
NXT funding. All right, so let's take NXT funding. Yeah, well, you couldn't think of a recent one. So NXT funding, if you sign up as an agent under NXT funding, your landing pages are going to have the NXT funding branding. That's what he's saying. Automatically, you don't even have to think about it. So your URL will be nxtfunding.com/your member number, and you're going to market your member office. So, and this is exactly how it used to be at Finance Store back in the day, and now we've enabled it to be scalable for any member office. So those are our standard systems. When a lead goes in, goes through our agent portal, gets added to our email marketing database, it gets into the CRM, which is our lead management system, and the member office who's working the lead gets a text message. A lot of cool integrations there. I love it, and I'm super happy with what we have.
I got to tell you, I know when we're ever doing testing on all of our lead pages, because I get massive amounts of text messages. I need to turn that off.
They're like little hugs coming through your phone, right? It's text message. It's like ching. You should make your SMS sound be ching, because it's money for somebody.
It's not okay. Somebody on the East Coast is creating a lead, or we're doing stuff on East Coast time, and I get it at 4 a.m.
What a great way to wake up. Money coming in, right? All right. So anyway, those are the standardized things. And since then, still years ago, we created some more advanced tech integrations that people can use, and those are custom forms and API. What does API stand for?
Application Programming Interface.
Okay, all right. And what the heck is Application Programming Interface?
So if you have two different programs, let's say you had Google Maps or Gmail, great example, Gmail, and you had a CRM. They don't typically talk to each other.
Nope.
An API allows them to speak to each other and exchange information back and forth.
It's like an automated, perfect translator. So it exists. The problem with it is a little complicated. You look at it, you got a bunch of code on there, and it was really only useful for people that understand this stuff. So we've been able to build on that a little bit. But first of all, the custom forms. What's a custom form? Who needs a custom form?
Well, so anybody who has a website and wants to have a form on their page to send leads or referrals directly into finance agents, that is really what it is. It's for those people who are a little more tech savvy. It's a HTML JavaScript form. It doesn't have any design elements to it, so you can do whatever you wish to it to make it look nice, but it's the general, just bare bones structure that you need to use to send in a lead from your own built website.
All right, so the basic way that a standard agent, they would send out an email to somebody with a link, you click on it, you go to one of our pages, you fill in a form, boom, that's a lead. But for somebody who's more advanced, maybe they sell a business system and they also want to include funding for their business system. They already have a whole web page that talks about their business system. They can add a funding tab. When you go click on the funding tab, it talks about, hey, we have funding available, fill in this form. And that form, we can give you the code for it so that the information comes to us. One of the cool things about the forms is that we can set it up so the lead comes to us and it also goes in your database as well. So it doesn't have to be only us. These are customized forms, and if you have an existing website, we can help you put them together and you take advantage of all the systems that are already in place. So those are custom forms. And what about the API? Who actually uses the API? I mean, what's it look like?
What does it look like? Looks like a string of characters that nobody can make sense of.
Right. Robot talk.
Yeah.
Let's call it that.
What we're using this every day. We actually have what are known as API calls that happen every time somebody within our system makes a change, adjusts something, changes the name for an agent, updates a lead status. So every single one of those creates an API call and sends between all of our systems that data. So we're always in sync and in step.
Right, and you can create things called workflow rules. I'm not going to get into it, where an automated set of things will happen, or somebody get an email in 3 days or 5 days or whatever. That's cool stuff that we do on our side. So if you have a system that you want to talk to our system instead of just a website, then we can do that using an API call. You request it from us, we send everything to you. Again, it's a little complicated. Fortunately, there's a way that is going to be even easier. So far you're kind of glazing over. Just wait. We're going to show you some real cool stuff soon. But let's say you already know, I want this. Here's how you get it. You send an email to support@financeagents.com or the member office you work with. If you're a lead partner with a member office, talk to them first, and then they'll coordinate everything. In the email, you're going to include a bunch of stuff. Sorry to put so much on the screen there, but it's a lot. You're going to put in your agent email account so we can make sure to get the right agent account on there. Description of what you're trying to do. Keep it brief. We don't need anything fancy. Let us know if you're sending leads or agent info. Let us know if you have your own website, or are you already a developer, or do you have somebody that works with you that understands this stuff? We want to know, because if not, we're going to have to help you, or somebody's going to have to help you. And finally, do you have a database or CRM? Maybe you have a MailChimp account with 10,000 contacts in there and you want to automate people that click on links. Great. This is something that you can do, and we'll need to know about it. So include those things. We'll send you out all the techie gobbledygook stuff. I'm not even going to put a picture on here, because if you don't know how to read it, it's just going to look confusing. And then that's it. And then what? ... Profit, right? That's the third step?
Yeah.
Right?
Underpants. Profit.
Yeah. If you haven't seen that, I apologize.
If you haven't watched South Park, don't worry.
Then you wouldn't
You're
know.
okay.
Anyway, you just use it. All right. So that's all the stuff that currently exists. Something came along in the last few years that made it a heck of a lot easier to use the API call, and that is called
Zapier. Or Zapier. Or
we don't know.
Yeah, we're not entirely sure.
We've been calling it Zapier, but we think it might be Zapier. Anyway, whatever you want to call it, who cares? Just type the letters in, zapier.com. It's a great website that is enabled. They take the tricky API stuff and make it easy, much easier. I'm not going to say easy. It's still a little complicated.
They turn it into workflows. Is really what it is.
Turn it into workflows. There you go. And it allows you to connect our system to any of 1,000 other systems. I don't exactly know how many. Not all of them make sense, but a lot. So I got a shot here of the Zapier website. I'm sure you could go find it on your own. This is some of like the top apps. And I want to talk a little bit about something that a lot of people use all the time just to get the ideas flowing on how you could create leads easily and automate it so you don't have to think about it. And that first thing is Gmail. Lots of people have Gmail accounts. I know I do. If you're not using Hotmail or AOL anymore, you're probably using...
I've got that too.
It goes Gmail, then Yahoo, then if you're from another country, Hotmail. Usually, most of the people I see with Hotmail accounts are international. AOL, Yahoo. If you're over 80, you might have an AOL account. Sorry, I'm generalizing, not trying to insult, but whatever. It's the truth. So a lot of people have Gmail. So how could you use Gmail with Zapier to create a lead in our system, Darren? What are some ideas?
Oh, there's a number of things you could do, but the major thing would be if you receive an email from a specific address or that has a specific subject line in it, you could actually have that sent in, pulled in to Zapier, and sent in as a lead. Right.
Yeah. So like you can have labels on your email accounts. In Gmail, you can designate Gmail to label things in a certain way. So you could create an email or a label called new lead. And anytime an email comes in with certain criteria, maybe subject line, like you said, or there's a lot of different things you could do, that can then automatically turn into a lead, which would go into our lead system. So you get your email, and you know that the member office you're working with also got it, and they're going to be reaching out. So that is a good example of the stuff that you can do using the system that you could never do in the past. I've got a bunch of other examples, but Zapier has a couple here. They show you how if you get contacted from Facebook, you can turn that into an automated response email from Gmail. Or somebody fills in a form, you can automate an email response. But you could also have it automatically turn into a lead in our system. You could save your attachments from Gmail to Google Drive or whatever the heck you use, and any of those things could now potentially be put into our system as well for your agent manager or the member office to use. So a lot of cool stuff that you can do. Now, I really want ideas from you guys. Unfortunately, I got the screen turned around. Did we ever turn on the chat? So nope. So I have no idea if you're talking, but if you have certain things that you think of that you could use, what's a system that you use right now or on every day on a daily basis? Here, I'll do it. Where from that system there are people in there who need leads. That's fine. Okay, all right. Think about that. I'm going to show some examples of stuff you could be using. Like we have on the screen right now, ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels is something that advanced, experienced marketers use to create web pages. What was that? Oh, Darren went out the bottom. And he
it's the elevator.
I was not expecting that little gem. Thank you. All right. ClickFunnels is something that advanced marketers use to sell all sorts of stuff. If you use ClickFunnels, you can now use ClickFunnels to create your own web forms and everything and pump it into our system. Same thing with Gravity Forms. That's a really cool, easy system to create forms that you put places. And you can do all sorts of stuff with the forms. Same thing with Google Forms, right? Have you ever used a Google form for anything, Darren?
Yeah, actually I have. Back when I was at Cal State Long Beach. I used it to...
Was it hard?
No, it was really easy. And I had it transferred into a PDF that I was able to send to people.
There it is. All right. You can use a Google form. Where would you use it? Where did you put the Google form? Did you send people an email with a link, hey, fill out this Google form, or? Usually.
I mean, you might be able to put it on a website, web page, and just have it as what's known as an iframe, like a window in a window, and have people do it that way.
Is that what you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
all right. What web page did you put it on?
Oh gosh, I don't remember.
It
was something for the class I was in. So
okay.
It wasn't mine. It was the school's.
Got it. All right. So there's a lot of cool places you can use this. If you've never heard of any of these things, then forget about it. But think of the things that you do use, right? Like I said, the example with Gmail, or if you use Google Voice and you receive text messages, potentially, I haven't checked this one, but potentially you could set it up so that whenever you receive a text message to this particular account or a phone call, it can turn it into a lead in the system. It's really that scalable. Let's say you set up a Google Voice phone number to market for funding. Every time somebody calls you could have that automatically turn into a lead if different people call.
Possibly.
Now you may think, why would I do this versus just using the pages that you already created for us? So any ideas why somebody would use that instead of one of our pages, Darren?
Yeah, number one thing is if you want control over your own page so that you can do SEO. If you understand what SEO is, if you understand design, you'll be able to better have control over that. But if you're not somebody who is attuned to that, then the better option is to use the pre-designed pages that we have.
I see somebody asking about Jot Forms. That's actually one of the examples I'm going to bring up here pretty soon. Any kind of a system that you're already using. Probably the main thing I would say with why you would use one of these other forms instead of our pages is maybe you want to market a specific product to a specific user group, right? Let's say you only want to talk to truckers. So you want a web page that is messaged specifically to truckers with a web form where some portion of the leads go to us, some portion of the leads go to somebody else, right? We don't care, whatever you want to use it for. This gives you full control to do whatever the heck you want in whatever circumstance. It's really infinitely scalable at this point. You can do just about anything. All right, or you want to run, let's say, here's another example, run a Facebook leads campaign. I have personally done this, so I know exactly how it works. You can set up a leads campaign using Zapier. You can have it go into our system. You can have it go into your own email marketing system. You can have it go into 18 different systems at once if you want. That's, I don't know if it makes sense, but you can. Pretty much anything you want.
You can do it if you just want to.
Right.
Just for the heck of it.
Yep. A lot of people have blogs, so if you have a WordPress blog and you're blogging all the time, maybe we want to blog about finance. One of our top member offices, that's what he's been doing for leads forever. So he has a blog that he writes on all the time, and he puts web forms right. You could put a button to take somebody to a landing page, or you could put the form right in the site. And guess what? You're going to get a lot more leads by having a form in the site than having a button. Because out of 100 people that click the button, maybe only 30 people will fill in that lead form. But maybe 80 of them would have filled in the form right on the website. So you generate way more leads by having fewer clicks. That's just a principle of the web. Okay, Acuity scheduling. There's a number of scheduling apps, actually. You could put in a thing, say, hey, you want to talk to a funding specialist, select from these options. They could schedule a time directly with your member office, and that also eliminates a lot of churn, right? Because the normal thing is somebody fills in a form, they wait to get called, maybe they're available, maybe they're not. With the form, they can say, hey, I'm available at 2 p.m. on Thursday, and schedule it, and boom, there it is.
And just to point out Acuity scheduling, absolutely love the program. It's really great. Are
they paying us?
No, they're
not.
But also one that you might want to check out if you like scheduling apps is Calendly.
Okay.
Calendly, for free, you can actually integrate it with one appointment into your Calendar.
One tech integration.
One integration.
The
Let's just say
Calendar,
one integration.
and then from Google Calendar, you can have it turn into a Zap and go into our system, and now you could be calling or somebody else could be calling. Anyway, you get the idea. WooForm, a lot of people use these websites. It's another cool
name.
Yeah.
Woofoo.
It's Woofoo, and they have Woo Forms. Right? Anyway, so you can create whatever website you want and then stick our forms in on some pages. You want to market things we don't have. You know, like let's say you sell credit repair. Awesome. Make your credit repair web page and then have a qualify for funding right away. Fill in the form. I don't know. You get the idea. Jot form. Here you go. MTNTGR asked about Jot form. Whoever that is. All right, so the question is, what would you connect? If you could connect anything in the world, what do you use? Darren, I think you mentioned you had some examples. I'd love to hear from you guys, but do you have any examples like that we didn't cover here, things that you would connect?
Well, at home, I have all of the Amazon Echoes, and I have them all connected with, so I think I have like 4 or 5. And I have them all connected to be able to do different tasks. So my entire house, I have.
It's a robot house. You have the cyborg
Well, I've been
house.
slowly moving in the direction of creating a smart condo, I should say. It's a lot cheaper than a smart house.
Okay, all right.
But having them do specific things, so specific tasks. So as soon as I walk in and my phone connects to the internet, I'm able to turn on our lights, like our main lights. So when we walk in, we're not walking into the dark and having the cat trip us.
Okay.
Which it has been a problem.
All right. You watch out for cats. They're kind of evil.
Yeah, and so then, but I can add tasks to my Google Calendar directly from it. I'm using IFTTT to do a lot of this stuff, and then also the Amazon Alexa app. But Zapier can do the same things, which is super, super helpful. I was just talking to Tim earlier about the fact that there even might be a way for us to have whenever a new lead is generated. So like you have a web page, person fills out the form, lead comes in, sends it over to your Google Home or Alexa and announces you have a new lead.
Yeah, your wife would love that.
Oh yeah, at 4 a.m.
Good morning, Darren. There's leads waiting.
Or you could go the opposite direction. If you had
creepy?
somebody who you were talking to, even from the phone call, you could, as you're walking by, add a lead, and give the name, phone number, whatever, so you can speak to it so that it'll add it as well. Now, these are things we haven't tested, but we're willing to, try it out.
I want it every time I walk out my door for a new lead to be created, assigned to you, saying, Tim has left for work.
I could do that. I might be able to do that.
All right, we probably could. All right, anyway, so don't be scared of the tech. We haven't really gone through everything that you need in order to be able to do this, because that would be more than a lot of people could handle on a show. But we're discussing doing a series of short videos that show somebody how to go through the exact steps of going from, let's say, using a Jot form to having it become a lead in the system using something like Zapier. So here's a bold request. If you have a system that you want to connect, type it in the chat box or type it in the comments below afterwards. And as long as it doesn't turn into some crazy amount of videos, Darren will create potentially, a custom video showing you how to do that connection, right? So we're here for you. Let us know what you want to connect. And obviously we talked everything about connecting to our systems, but once you get the feel for it, you could connect to all sorts of things that have nothing to do with us, and that's cool too. I hope that you do that, and if somebody does something neat, let us know. We'd love to hear about it. Mm-hmm. All right, well, that is about it. We'll go ahead and wrap it up for the day. Thanks everybody for coming on, and we look forward to doing a lot more deals together.